Now we move on to the third session for the day, which is Innovation for Sustainable Station and Rolling Stock. This session will explore the latest technological advancement and design innovation that are transforming railway infrastructure and operations. For this, we would want to invite Mr. Rajaji Mishram, Independent Transport Sector Expert, a respected advisor on global sustainable transport practices, to steer our final technical session. He wears a couple of hats as an industry expert, which I'll allow him to share moving ahead. Sir, thank you. Mr. Manish Jain, joining him as Principal Chief Safety Officer, Metro Railway, a dedicated safety and operations expert, ensuring that modernization goes hand in hand with commuter safety and reliability. Thank you, sir. Mr. Gangesh Chaturvedi from Tata Steel, bringing steel industry excellence and sustainable material expertise for station infrastructure and rolling stock. Please, sir. Can we have a round of applause? I understand we are late for lunch, but we'll have to bear for next 30 to 40 minutes more, please. Mr. Permanent Sharma, PCME, Principal Chief Mechanical Engineer, that is Eastern Railway, responsible for maintenance and life cycle sustainability of rail assets, a key voice in ensuring long-term durability and green operations. Wonderful. And online we have Mr. Vipul Sharma, Associate Professor from Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, a research-oriented thought leader blending technology, sustainability, and innovation for the railways of tomorrow. I hope we can see him. Is he there online? Wonderful. So, Mr. Mishram, I would request you to take forward. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to all of you, and I really thank the Indian Chamber of Commerce for allowing me to moderate this session with very esteemed speakers. And the style that I would like to follow is to have a conversation, because we usually don't have such erudite and accomplished people together in the dais, and listening to their thoughts, answering my maybe sometimes a bit of tough questions would really enlighten us. I've been a consultant all my life. I was started in the railways, but I've been a consultant, and consultants like jargon. We like abbreviations. So I have come up with an abbreviation today, and that abbreviation is backup without the U. Now, what does that mean? And it is in the context of today's topic, which says, innovations for sustainable stations and rolling stock, technology, financing, and global best practices. So what is this jargon that I've come up with? Backup without the U. So B stands for Bhopal. Bhopal generates 850 tons of waste every day. Indian Railways is equivalent to that. Indian Railways generates 670 tons of waste per day, but this is not counting what waste is generated in railway colonies. So the B stands for Bhopal. So whenever you think of waste and railways, think of Bhopal. Bhopal creates as much of waste as Bhopal does. A stands for Agra. Agra consumes close to around 3 billion units per year. That's the power that it consumes. And that's the power that is consumed in all the railway stations, in the offices of the railways. So A stands for Agra, for the power consumption equivalence of railways. C stands for Chennai. Why Chennai? Chennai consumes 17 billion units of power every year. Railways, as you saw in the previous presentation also, it's around 25 billion. So in terms of energy consumption for operations, Chennai is equivalent to railways. K stands for Kolkata. Now, railways consumes 800 million liters of water per day in its operations. This does not include the water that is consumed in its railway colonies, stations, and hospitals. This is equivalent to the 800 million liters per day is equivalent to 60% of what Kolkata consumes. So railways, in a way, in terms of its water consumption, is equivalent to Kolkata. And the last, I couldn't accommodate the U, but the P stands for Pondicherry. Now Pondicherry, it consumes 2,000 metric tons, 2,000 metric tons of diesel in a year. Now, North Central Railway, they were actually using diesel generator cars in their 142 trains, they moved on to head-on generation. So when they did this, they saved close to 2,700 metric tons of diesel in the year. And this is just for April to July. It's not even for the full year, it's just for April to July. So what I wanted to kind of highlight by this small analysis is that railways in its consumption of various resources equivalent to certain cities. That is the scale of operation that railways has. And any kind of sustainability moves that railways does is going to have a huge impact. The one fact that really struck me is that Pondicherry's entire diesel requirement can be fulfilled by railways saving its diesel consumption in 142 trains. Just think about it. If railways did this head-on generation across, how much of diesel, how much of foreign exchange will save, and how much of this resource will be available to other cities in India. So with that kind of a background, I would kind of address my first question to Mr. Gangesh. And my question to you, sir, is that, given your international experience, you're a leader in Tata Steel, you head the exports division. So, the topic that we have, which is innovations in railway stations and rolling stock, I would want to hear your overall comments about it first.
So, thank you, Rajaji. First, a larger context. So, the work of mine has taken me all across the globe for last 30 years, primarily around Europe and US as well. And currently in this profile, I'm handling exports and have led digital transformation across value chain. In the current context, and we are aware from Tata Steel side broadly, we are multiplying growth. So let's say our capacities are at a level of 24 million tons and we want to take it to 40 million tons. So kind of what we would have done it in last 100 years is what we plan to do it in next 3 years. And hence, moving away from at a larger global level, this will be led by technology for sure. Also look at technology alone will not be able to put it across, so it has to be funded. And hence finance becomes the backbone. What has also taught is one use case, which means from think big, start small and scale fast. One use case enables the horizontal or vertical deployment across as well. In the technology space, one of the pieces that we have put across is smart stations. And we have our own railway track as well, internal within the plant as well. And these stations, one of the examples that I can put up is solar energy, which is more so from point of view of being carbon friendly, to keep it very, very short. To ensure lights within the stations are being there, they are being used, and smart energy systems are being deployed there as well. This does not move in isolation. So it moves with the group theme of 3S now, which is simplify, synergize, and scale. And that's how we build up over a period of time. What has caught on in the technology space related to sustainability, while there are many tools that can be used, but if I were to put up a Pareto here and say what are the commonly used ones are artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and when these are put up in the digital journey with their pug marks as well, then in the AI space there is a lot of work which is getting done. This is related to essentially two parts, which is reduction in carbon emission, which is also linked to green steel and friendly steel as well, being used at multiple touch points. And since we have multiple plants which are spreaded across geography, a lot of data is being used. So smart manufacturing essentially, which I will touch upon later as well, is being taken up. The other part is from financing point of view, we are aware the green bonds and public-private partnerships are the two major points coming up. In the best practices of what we would have seen, because we have a automotive vertical as well that puts across the green steel across the industry. The green steel and much high tensile steel is being put up there for longevity and ensuring safety of the passengers. This is linked to sustainability as well. From best practices point of view, first India, so my own experience there has been, last 5 years have been environment conscious manufacturing and deployment that has taken place, and we as suppliers are committed. Second part is top 5 that if you were to look at would be backed by Japan, Italy as well, Germany, Singapore, and one more will put into these 2 brackets. And they have taught us in terms of how to move ahead in the sustainability direction. So that's the first point of view, Rajaji, from my side.
Thank you for that comprehensive kind of overview. I would now move to Mr. Manish Jain. Is that, since you're from Kolkata Metro, I just wanted to know upfront, to increase sustainability of operations, what is Kolkata Metro doing?
Thank you, Rajaji. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I answer your query, I was just reading about a study done by Terry for the Delhi Metro. So they said on an average, metro commuter, when he shifts from road to metro, for every passenger kilometer, the savings in carbons is 32 grams. Now, this may look a very small figure, but if we look at Kolkata Metro operations alone, which is, we have about 6.1 lakh passengers per day, with an average lead of about 12 kilometers, it comes to 200 metric tons of CO2 saving per day, Kolkata Metro alone. And if we extend it to the metro systems all across the country, which has crossed 1,000 kilometers now, it would be somewhere like 3,000 tons of CO2 savings per day. I'm emphasizing the word per day. So metro itself is a very, very good initiative in terms of sustainability. Then within that, how do we increase the sustainability further? Mr. Majumdar has just in the previous session given a lot of inputs about solar powers, saving in water, aluminum third rail. So those are the initiatives which have already been taken. Other than that, what I, as a metro manager, we need to increase the metro network and we need to increase it intelligently. Intelligently how? That just by increasing kilometers, it does not, it does not attract more commuters. Like recently in the month of August, we had this connectivity between Havda and Shalda, which has overnight jumped our ridership by 1 lakh per day. So we have to make the metro network in such a manner that we have connectivity all around. We already have connectivity at Esplanade between the 2 lines. Our one more connectivity is going to happen in Sector 5 IT Park very soon, which is the line, part of the line from New Gadia to airport. Then we have connectivity with the suburban systems at Majirhat, what Vipin told in the morning, then at Damdam Cant. Now, when we talk about metro, I think some of the speakers were talking about first and last mile connectivity. So recently, Metro Railway Kolkata has tied up with the app-based cab and motorcycle riders, where we give them designated spaces in and around our metro station. So idea is that if a person can have a door-to-door connectivity, he would use metro more and more, and that will increase the sustainability and that will reduce the emissions. And one more point I would like to highlight is that to the best of my knowledge, Kolkata Metro is the only metro which is giving student concessions. No other metro in the country, we have asked through our contacts and through various forums. We are the only ones who encourage students to travel in metro when they are going to the school or going back home. So idea is we have to increase, we have to shift people from road to metro, and that is going to increase the sustainability in the long run. And one more last point which I would like to make is that there's an initiative of the Ministry of Urban Affairs. There's a society called iMetro. We have recently become a member of it. All the metro systems in NCRTC, which is that Delhi Ghaziabad project, they are also members. So we collaborate on that forum through that society, and we are looking for best practices in terms of energy efficiency or sustainability, and we try and learn from each other so that everybody benefits, and the benefits are passed on to the citizens of the country as a whole. Thank you.
I particularly like this point about student concessions, because I have personally seen even a maid who works in our house in Delhi, when the public transport is made free and women can travel in a safe mode, it actually enhances the employment percentage in women. So I really appreciate the point that you made on student concessions. So that brings me to Mr. Parmanand Sharma. So sir, we, of course, the pride of India today is Vande Bharat, but our topic is sustainability. So my question to you is that, what are the sustainability aspects of the Vande Bharat trains?
Really a surprising question. I think in technical session 1, you all heard Mr. Rana speaking that railway is about 6 to 10 times more efficient mode of transport in terms of per passenger or per ton of freight rate. So railway itself is the optimum mode for sustainability. And now this question of Vande Bharat being further enhancing the sustainability, I will like to dwell on some features of Vande Bharat, which will let you know. You see, sustainability basically will come from saving of time and saving of energy. Passengers want quicker transport. For quicker transport, if we go for a very high horsepower type of thing, high horsepower loco, shorter train for quick access, etc. So the conventional trains don't fit the bill. Because in conventional train with single loco, no matter how much horsepower I put in the locomotive, the acceleration will be limited and will be taking longer time. And it is there where that the design development of this distributed power system comes into play. In Vande Bharat, we have 4 coach set unit, and each coach set has a, you can say, a locomotive, a motored coach, with a horsepower of approximately 1/5 or a conventional locomotive. But then there are, in a 16 coach formation, there are 4 such motor coaches. So the acceleration is very fast. And most of the electrical engineers that are here who will be knowing that the loss in motors is I square R, that is the current being drawn that generates the heat. So when acceleration is very fast and I reach my balancing speed of say 130 or 160 kmph very quickly. After that, it's only the back EMF comes into play prominently, and only the wind losses, the velocity, the resistance being offered by wind has to be taken care of. Similarly, in braking, if I go for conventional air brake system braking, the energy loss is too high because that energy gets dissipated as heat. But here with a regenerative braking system, and that too in 4 units separately, the almost entire energy gets regenerated, which would have otherwise been dissipated as heat. So this energy saving, I will like to give an example. One Vande Bharat we are running from Howrah to Gaya. The complete travel from Howrah to Gaya and back consumes about some 14,000 kilowatt hours. And in braking, we are able to generate back about 3,000 to 3,500 kilowatt hour, depending on travel condition. Many a time the train stops more because of some reason, many a time it gets a more through run. So this regenerative braking train, but so you can imagine 25% of energy we are saving back. And this energy consumption is in itself about 20% less than the loco-hauled trains consuming the energy. So that way the Vande Bharat is optimum for quick travel. It can carry more number of passengers, shorter time, and as the quick travel is there, the line capacity utilization also improves with that. So considering all these factors, the Vande Bharat is definitely a step ahead in railways. Otherwise, as I told you initially, railway itself is the optimum mode for sustainability in transport. Thank you.
तो मेरे दिमाग में ये आ रहा है सर, सोने पे सुहागा, मतलब बढ़िया भी चीज़ है और वो सस्टेनेबल भी है, तो इससे बढ़िया और क्या चाहिए? So
the systems will be getting better with more research and more experiences.
definitely.
We are not going to stop at the Vande Bharat current stage only. The developments and research team is constantly working on that.
Sure. So that brings me to Dr. Vipul Mishra, and he is of course there online. So if he can hear us, he is of course from the Department of AI and Data Analytics in the Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya. So Dr. Vipul Mishra, I will start with a very basic question because I first of all want to understand what's the difference between data analytics and AI. I, as a person who has been involved with railways for the past almost maybe 20 plus years, I know that railways generates a lot of data. I mean, look at the number of trains that ply every day, the number of passengers that travel every day. You have data from voice, you have data from passenger reservation system. So much of data is there. So I thought you can analyze that data. You can do data analytics, right? But how is it different? How is artificial intelligence different? Can you just throw some light on this? Maybe first a very basic question before we move on to maybe more deeper questions. You're on mute, I think.
Yeah. I hope now audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much for considering me as in the online. Unfortunately, my flight cancelled in the last minute, so we do not have choice to come as online. Now let's talk about little bit artificial intelligence and data science. So before moving forward on artificial intelligence and data science, you can say these are the two sisters or two brothers, whatever nomenclature we want to give, we can give. So before moving forward, we can say there are four major things that comes into the picture. One is descriptive analysis that gives an answer from any data that what happened in the history. Second important point is the diagnostic analysis that also giving the answers from the data why did that particular event happened. Now these two things are talking about the history, why it happened and what happened. So whenever we are answering these two questions, this comes as a data analytics. Now based on the data that is available in the history, can we give an answer what will happen in near future? That comes under the predictive analysis. And once we say predictive analysis, it's a part of artificial intelligence where algorithms comes into the picture, ML algorithms comes into the picture that will tell what will happen in near future. Now, if we got the answer what will happen near future, now the next question comes, how will utilize this information? So then the important question comes, what we should do to tackle this problem or utilize this information that is coming from the predictive analysis, what will happen in the future. And then the fourth terminology comes prescriptive analysis. Now these four terminologies, so you can say some is talking about the future, some is talking about the past. So whenever we say we want to get the information from the past, it's a data analytics. When we say we want to get information of the future, it's AI and machine learning or deep learning. This terminology comes into the picture. Now this is just a layman. Let me give an example where this how we can utilize this data and do this analysis. We already have lots of data from the passenger reservation system, that PRS systems, or we have lots of data from the freight or voice data, right? So let's take example of this PRS system. With this PRS system, we can do the forecasting of the passenger reservation. Now once we say forecasting of the passenger reservation, that will become the predictive analysis. But prior to that, we want to information what is the seasonality in the system. What are the stations where we have maximum number of reservations? What are the routes which are most popular in the Indian Railway or in any other system? Once we want to answer these questions, what happened in the previous, that's become the data analysis. Now based on this data analysis, we are doing the forecasting. What will be the demand in future? Once we get the demand, a particular route or particular season, that will become the predictive analysis. Now the question comes, how we will utilize this information in the Indian railway system? Now we want to introduce new trains, then this information will be very important, which routes are very popular, and that comes from the data. It's not like a rough decision, it comes from the data. These routes have the maximum passengers traveling and current trains are not enough to tackle that. Similarly, we can plan special trains. Every time we have Diwali trains, special trains in the Holi, special trains in the vacations. Now, giving this information from the data, that will have a better outcome, better utilization of those trains. So this is the prescriptive analysis comes into the picture, which route I have to run the new trains or which route I have to run the special trains. Now again, once we say new trains, the important point, we have multiple routes. So which route you have to follow, that will come into the prescriptive analysis. This is one example that maybe you can utilize the PRS system straightforward. Then if you look into the locomotive itself, we can see locomotive have lots of sensors inside the locomotive. We are using these sensors to whenever some fault happens. But why not we are using these same sensors to do the predictive maintenance? Why not we can utilize these same sensor information to make the digital twin of the system? Sir is talking about the Vande Bharat train, and Vande Bharat train have plenty of sensors installed in the entire Vande Bharat. Why not we can make a digital twin of Vande Bharat and doing lots of research on that? Like if I will tweak this parameter, how it will enhance my capability in the maybe the torque generation, how we can reduce this particular parameter so that it will reduce the carbon footprint or the requirement of electrical supply. So these all things comes into the picture whenever we will utilize this data efficiently and make the digital twin or doing the predictive maintenance. So in that way, I want to describe like how we can utilize this information either coming from the voice or coming from the, you can say the locomotives or the entire train itself. So I hope I am able to answer it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you answered it well. आपकी बात सुन के मेरे दिमाग में आया कि डेटा एनालिटिक्स डॉक्टर की तरह है जो ये देखता है कि आपके साथ क्या मतलब क्या है और वो बताता है, और जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एस्ट्रोलॉजर की तरह है, वो भविष्य बताएगा. At least, you know, in layman terms, that's what I understood. So, thanks for that comprehensive.
Just to add on something that he said. So, I think artificial intelligence, from customer point of view, and I'm just deviating slightly, let's say brand Apple, I had the opportunity of meeting when they launched in India, Mr. Tim Cook. And he said, we deliver before customer thinks. Now that's amazing, which means you're going beyond predictive analytics as well. And let's say if you're thinking your needs after half an hour, he will deliver you before half an hour. So it's beyond Maslow's hierarchy of need of self-actualization as well. Within artificial intelligence, a lot of work which has happened around scheduling and sequencing as well. We don't realize. So why a train, how can a train come on time? How can a train reach on time? As an engineer, how do you plan your different trains which are there? In logistics as well, let's say, how do you prioritize, which has recently come out in commercial versus passengers as well. And these are little small applications which are a part of our life. This is linked to metadata where artificial intelligence has taken on in a much larger way. In what would have taken, let's say, 5 years, for example, it does it in less than 1 minute in terms of if the algorithms are defined right. And accuracy is question, which is okay, but at least it helps in business decision making as well.
True. And I think my daughter, what should actually take 5 hours, does an assignment in 5 minutes using ChatGPT. So that is also one consequence. So I'll come back to you. I mean, the question that I have to you is that steel, of course, goes into the manufacture of all these coaches and wagons. And you being a leader in Tata Steel production itself, you know, what is Tata Steel doing to make its operations sustainable?
So there are 3 parts to this. I think a prelude to this is globally the business is growing, which means the capacity of steel has to grow. Second, the elephant is born. So your cost will run very high. There is no other way but not to grow. And hence, we need to find out better and smarter ways. So when you give this example of BACK, UP on the backup side, and each one has very strong, larger definitions out of it. For us, linked to the customer, because we have always believed in Tata Business Excellency model. And there the larger perspective has been around smart manufacturing. And smart manufacturing has been from the firm belief that if we keep on doing what we are doing today, we will keep on getting what we are getting today. And hence, if we want to deliver in next 3 years of what we would have delivered in last 100 years, best way is to upgrade yourself, best way is to upgrade yourself smartly as well. An example that I can take is electric arc furnace, which is being put up in India as well into our global operations. It will have its own sense of realizations coming up, in short. But there is a directional movement. Second part is there is a circularity, there is a circular economy angle to it as well, which means we see recycling piece of our waste as well. There is a separate scrap management and larger projects which are built around this. Third part is each of this, let's say if I were to put up, there are dedicated large scaled projects which are built around for improvement to take place. We drive programs called Shikhar 25, and we are the only organization into our balance sheet we take improvements as far as putting up how much improvements that we have done across projects. Last, one to summarize this would be, we are not technology-led organization. So we are manufacturing-led organization supported by technology. And again, I think here, artificial intelligence has played a very critical role. In this, to end this particular piece of saying how far we have gone in sustainability, it runs from start point of our raw material to our finished goods, taking care of the needs of the customer as well.
Thank you. In fact, listening to you, I was reminded of that ad that used to come once, which says in Tata Steel, we also make steel. It is also always a very sustainable company, and the ad kind of brought that about, that, you know, there are a lot of things that the firm does, and steel manufacturing is also one of them. So I'll now come to Manish Jain, sir. So, sir, the other place where I think a lot of resources are consumed is the other railway stations. So if you could give a perspective, what is Kolkata Metro doing to make operations at the railway station sustainable?
Railway stations, again, Mr. Majumdar has already talked about the solar power, the savings in the water, in the environmental control system, LED lighting, all that we have already done. In addition to that, today, all the railway stations and more so the metro stations, they have to be, in terms of passenger friendliness, amenities, they have to be, mobility is very important. So we are installing lots of lifts, escalators. Lifts, again, Mr. Majumdar talked about regenerative braking. New escalators which we are installing now, they have those sensors that during off-peak hours, when the passenger flow is not high, the escalator would stop, and it will only start when somebody comes to alight it. So that also saves a lot of energy. Another area which is not designed for energy saving, but it's a byproduct. We have these platform screen doors in the green line, which are basically secondary doors on the platform. So in the underground stations, what it does is it reduces the effective volume for environmental conditioning. Because at the stations without these gates, the environmental conditioning is also conditioning or cooling the tunnel area, the track area. So this, I would say from the energy point of view, then water, we use mainly water in the stations other than the environmental conditioning is for cleaning. So cleaning, we had the conventional systems of mopping, washing regularly. Now we are going for mechanized cleaning with the machines. So obviously that will reduce the water consumptions a lot. Then another area where we are going very aggressively is the ticketing. The ticketing, conventional ticketing was the tokens, and then we introduced the smart cards. Now we are discouraging tokens because those are all plastic, and we have a lot of loss in terms of revenue, and plastic is of course a very, very polluting material. We have moved on to the QR code ticketing. So we already have mobile QR codes as well as paper QR code. Our next target is to eliminate paper QR codes also. We are trying to tie up with different platforms, UPI platforms, payment platforms, where we can issue tickets through them. So that, because everybody has a mobile today, and everybody has some UPI app or the other. So if we can proliferate this, then he need not buy a ticket at the station. It will save time for him, and he can use the digital ticket rather than using a paper or the token. Or regular computers, of course, can use smart cards. So I would say these are the things where we have to move forward. We already planned for it. But of course, it takes time in terms of commuter, habits also. Like when I was talking about the sudden increase in the green line, the Howrah Esplanade. So for 1 week, all of us were at different stations. And I used to talk to the passengers, कि आप line में क्यों खड़े हैं? Why don't you use your mobile app? So he used to say, अच्छा सा mobile app भी है. So education, changing habits, I think that is what if we aggressively work upon, it will definitely increase the sustainability further. Thank you.
Thanks for that answer, sir. Actually, I didn't realize that because when I was thinking of the topic, I was only thinking of power consumption, water consumption, how to reduce that. But the point that you brought out, that efficiency in passenger experience also makes a lot of operations sustainable. I mean, bringing in digital, mobile-based solutions will save time, which also makes the entire thing sustainable. So now I'll come to Mr. Parmanand Sharma. Sir, Dr. Vipul Mishra did mention about IoT, etc. But I'm curious about this. I mean, I started off as a mechanical engineer, and I know that, I worked in the pit lines where the maintenance is done, and mostly it's scheduled maintenance. But now we have, at that time, when I was an officer, that was way back in, I think, 19 or 2000. तो उस समय तो artificial intelligence नहीं था, अभी तो है. So, what are the kind of steps that are being taken? Maybe they are not come to fruition, but what kind of things are being done to get into, let us say, a predictive maintenance kind of a regime? Because you need data for that. So what are the things that are being done? If you can throw some light on that.
Actually, you see, as you talked that you were in 2000 as IRSME in pit line. Obviously, there were no electrical, no data sensors, nothing at that time. And you must be remembering that at that time we were sending coaches for POH after every year. Every 12 months the coach will go. So taking up from there, I will like to bifurcate my answer in two parts. The first part, as my fellow panelists talked about the Vande Bharat, lot of sensors, highly instrumented coach, etc. Agreed. Sir, but we are still in primary class so far as Vande Bharat is concerned. You all know that Vande Bharat trains started proliferating after 2022, even though first rig got made in 2018. And Eastern Railway, when the rakes got made at that time, based on our older experiences, the time-based schedules were prescribed. So the data acquisition has been there over the years, but it requires a lot of confidence to base our maintenance practice on that data. And that is why we are going to take some time for actually putting that data. Like one, I will say, my Eastern Railway first rake of Vande Bharat, that has still not undergone any POH. The first POH we will be doing in January, February, periodic overhauling that we say. So once we go through different stages of maintenance, time-based maintenance, when we open up things and see the conditions, and the data acquired over the years, then these analysis of data acquired over the years and the condition physically seen will give us the confidence to switch over. However, now going back to the what Mr. Rajaji time was there and now what railway has done, it's not that we have sat down. The things have been done. Lot of technological changes, like switching over from ICF to LHB with a better design. The periodic maintenance periodicity is switched over from 1 year to 3 years. In locomotives, the periodic maintenance from 6 years has gone up to 18 years for the new 3-phase locomotives. So that type of things, as the data and the experiences have been gained over the railways, the steps are being taken. And I am sure what data analytics and artificial intelligence has, you are also aware that these things have come up in last 4-5 years only. So we are gaining experiences with that, and definitely it will be put to use. There are certain things like I will like to tell you more. In our freight operation, earlier the wagons that will be get examined in yard will go up to their destination and then will again require examination. But now we have installed several equipment like online monitoring of rolling stock, hot axle detector, the wild wheel impact load detector. These online and equipments, they are giving us the condition of the wagon moving, whether any part is hanging, whether any wheel has got flat and that type of things. So with these experiences and the equipments by roadside, we have been able to enhance the rake life for traveling up to even in some cases 10,000 kilometers, 7,500 kilometers is now the norm for CC rakes. So these type of enhanced maintenance periodicity, which has resulted in much more availability of wagons, have resulted in railways, and we are constantly striving for that. Similarly, in coaching also, as I told you, the periodicity has been enhanced, and with experiences, maybe the workshop periodicity will be further enhanced, making use of the data and the conditions. And more than that, what I will say is that the individual components, like say traction motor, now that we are using the induction traction motor, so if the condition is okay, in place of going for rewinding and repairing in POH, we will go for alternate POH. But these steps will be only taken after the proper data over a longer time has been acquired. Those data have been analyzed. So currently we are still persisting with the periodic maintenance, but definitely the study is on for enhancing the periodicity and going for the condition-based maintenance. Thank you.
Pardon this thought, sir, लेकिन आपने जब 18 साल बोला, मेरी बेटी 18 साल की है, मतलब ऐसा हुआ कि भाई बच्चा पैदा हुआ उसके बाद सीधे 18 साल बाद ही देखा आपने. So that's great, sir. I mean, I didn't know that. It's really impressive that it goes in 18 years for periodic maintenance. It's amazing. So Mr. Vipul Mishra, तो परमानंद शर्मा साहब तो आपको बहुत सारा डेटा दे देंगे wayside equipment से और coach से. तो how can you actually tangibly reduce water consumption or power consumption using this kind of data? Is there some thought in your mind, in your analysis or research, that it can actually result in something tangible, leading to some power reduction or water reduction, consumption reduction? Dr. Vipul Mishra, are you there?
Yeah. Yes. So thank you for the question. It's very important is really our coaches or the wagons are equipped with the required technology, and I'm damn sure these are already equipped with the required technology. For example, if we say tank level monitoring, what is inside the coaches is really the water level is up to the mark, and I hope Chris has already developed few of those systems that is installed on the coaches, which will constantly tell us what is the water level of the coaches. But the story, this is the beginning of the story, and then these all information is really it is going to the actual worker. We already transformed the ticket checker, like they have a tab and that are continuously checking without paper. But is really this information of the water level is going to the worker as well. If that information reach to the worker on time and in the real time as well, they can plan their refilling more strategic way and more priority ways. That is one point. Now it can enhance further. Why not we can utilize our water supply itself with the robotics and IoT? Because we already have that information from the coaches which coach requires how much water, because that will give the information based on the consumption in the coaches. Now if this robotic arm is there, that is giving the water supply to the coaches, and that is also intelligent, you can say the outlet, and that intelligent outlet give the appropriate amount of water to the coaches. This is filling the water. And if we have this real-time tank monitoring system, we can also get the idea, is there any leakage on particular coach that can be addressed in the next station itself. So if we have this full-fledged system, then the water consumption will reduce very heavily. Now I just want to add some more point, as we started this session with the B, Bhopal, right? So in Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, we are developing the technology and we have multiple patents, waste to the fuel. So one of the professor, Dr. Venkat Chintala, he is working on that area that will convert the regular waste to the fuel, and that is well proved technology. And now currently Vadodara station, that is in the Western Railway, we are taking the entire waste of the Vadodara station and converting into the fuel, and that's a very important point for the sustainable you can say goals. So now if we come to the electric consumption, of course we all know, like our stations or our trains are already filled with the persons. So then automatic light dimming, or you can say automatic identification of the requirement of the ventilation, requirement of the temperature control, these all can be managed by them. Not only that, if we use the PRS system as well, like we already have the passenger record, we have the how many passengers are coming in this train. So based on that, can we control the entire system? It's like a connecting these all dots together that will give the more efficient outcome in terms of electrical uses by the HVAC systems or other systems as well.
Thank you for that. Actually, I feel that, I kind of sometimes feel that we are entering the realm of science fiction, because what is actually we used to see in science fiction movies is actually happening today in the real world. So I appreciate the kind of scenarios that you built in. I am sure some of them will fructify in a few years. So, Mr. Gangesh, one question that has been crossing my mind is that I have been hearing a lot about aluminum coaches, because they say it's lighter, etc. But I just want to know if you can throw some light on, you know, the sustainability of this material versus steel, because steel is what we use. So what is the sustainability of, how does aluminum compare to steel from sustainability? That's the topic of discussion for us.
So before I answer that, just for two railway colleagues who are here, I just have two words, which is thank you for being there. Because at times, when you are there, we don't realize the importance. We only realize the importance when you are not there or delayed as well. This is super work. So we are customers to you as well from institution side, and I'm a retail customer to you as well, because I remember when I was made to travel for my examination 25 kilometers, only metro was there. And between Calcutta, Jamshedpur, let's say last 5 years, I have done it 2 days in Calcutta and 4 days in Jamshedpur, apart from international travels, let's say when it was there. Vande Bharat came as a, I would say, elite services to me. And I'm keeping aside small hiccups. So I think thank you for the larger side from keeping aside the sustainability. Back to the insights on the aluminum piece. To keep it concise, 4 points that I would like to mention. One, this is not one size fits all. So we need to have horses for courses policy. And hence, between steel and aluminum, from sustainability point of view, steel comes as a better choice. The carbon footprints are much lesser. And in aluminium, let's say if you are putting up more so from fuel utilization as well, it will be slightly higher there. Second, the recyclability of steel is much better. So if we were to look at only from point of view of lesser weight, then we will be looking at one portion of the story. But if we look at the full life cycle from aluminium as a raw material which is going inside the finished product, then the full recycle point of view, steel still comes as a better choice. Fourth, from summarization point of view on this, there has to be a balanced way. I mean, not just, let's say if I'm from Tata Steel, I'll have a bias towards the steel. That's not the point. What category of usage that each of the raw material were to find? So let's say in metros as well, is there an aluminum usage? Could be yes. But let's say with passenger count getting up, which Manish mentioned, you want something which is very, very stronger in nature. As a feature, steel still attracts magnetic properties, and it helps in recycling as well. So my view there, Rajaji, would be one needs to have a balanced view of looking at both sides of the coin to have a fair view on this.
वैसे सर the phrase says nerves of steel, nerves of aluminum कोई नहीं बोलता है, तो शायद steel is there to stay. So Manish, then sir, we have heard about the sustainability aspects and features of Vande Bharat, but I want to know what those features are for metro coaches.
No, if you look at the metro train, it is essentially a distributed power system like Vande Bharat. But in terms of technology, I would say it is much more advanced. Propulsion is same, three-phase propulsion is there, regenerative braking is there. But now on the new lines which we are making and all over India, we have the modern signaling system, which is distributed over the wayside signaling as well as in the coach, which is CBTC, communication-based train control, which is a moving block technology. So that basically, the basic purpose of this CBTC is to have a smaller headway. That means within the same section, we can have more trains and we can have maybe a headway of 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes compared to the 6 minutes which we are running on Metro Railway Kolkata today. So that would be a feature which is new in terms of energy efficiency, sustainability. As Mr. Sharma said, this is something which is evolving. Even three-phase propulsion system is evolving as we are going forward. The new rakes which we buy are more efficient than the previous ones. And also in terms of maintenance, we have all the diagnostic features, we have all the data, and everything is through microprocessor control. So that will also help us in reducing maintenance times, reducing down times. One more feature which I saw in NCRTC, again for off-peak hours. NCRTC is not, the footfall is very low. So normally in a metro train, whenever it comes to the station, all doors open and all doors close. So what happens is that way you're losing the air conditioning of the metro coach. What NCRTC has done, that all the doors are passenger operated. That means wherever passenger wants to get in or get out, he will just press that button like we have seen in the long distance trains in Europe and all, and only that door will open. Or not all the doors will open or all the doors will close. So we discussed this in Kolkata metro system, but generally people were of the opinion that, it may lead to inconvenience for the passengers. But yes, maybe for the late night services, early morning services, there's something which we can look at. And it is all programmable today with the door control systems. So this is an evolving field, and I'm sure we will do better as we go forward.
Interesting point, sir. I mean, just a simple feature of giving the passenger the control to open can save a lot of power in the coach. That is very interesting. Parmanand Sharma sir, one point that's coming to my mind is that earlier in the summer, there was a restriction placed in Delhi that nobody, if anybody is caught cleaning their car with a pipe, they will be put on a penalty, because that water was scarce in Delhi. And I perceive that to clean a coach, a lot of water is required. I mean, since our topic today is sustainability, what is being done to reduce that water consumption? Because cleaning a coach requires a lot of water. It's quite a big, vehicle.
But people will need clean coaches. Thank you for the question. Actually, this is a major problem being faced by Indian Railways, cleaning of coaches. Lot of water is required. There are many coaching depots which are in areas where there is water starvation. But the water supply is not good enough. So, railway are taking due steps, and one of these steps is going for automatic coach washing plants, which is something like a unit of about 30 meter is there. The train travels at a slow speed of 5 to 8 kilometers, and from side the water is sprayed, soap solution is sprayed, the brushes are there which are touching the car body and cleaning it. So in this system, the advantage that we are getting is that the entire water that is being used for cleaning the coach is in that 30 meter area. And now we are able to collect that water, take it to our effluent treatment plant, recycle that water. And here we are able to, in fact, at say Kolkata terminal, or we are able to get back 90% of the water used, 85 to 90%. Only thermal losses in summer results in a bit higher losses. Otherwise, in winter or rainy season, the water loss is hardly 10%. So this is one of the major steps, and this step initially, when proved successful, has now been implemented to almost all coaching depots. When I say almost all coaching depots, because at some places the location has not been found out where such type of placement can be done, because this requires inter-track distances to be there, so that in the between two lines you can put up the equipment, etc. So in some coaching depots there is constraint of infrastructure, but otherwise this has been proliferated over almost all coaching depots. Then in the pit line also, when inside cleaning is to be done, the inside cleaning also here. In fact, at a random I can say that for cleaning one coach, we in primary maintenance we consume almost 1500 to 2000 liters of water. So on pit line, at coach washing plant we took care of about 1000 liters. On pit line for internal cleaning, like cleaning of toilets, cleaning of sitting areas, etc. There also we are going for the same thing, that the water that goes into the pit line gets collected at the end and again goes through the effluent treatment plant. So that way recycling of water, this has been one of the major steps taken over the coaching. Then other things like what we were talking about, the fellow panelists said, that IoT of water sensors, etc. So that is also being utilized to great extent, that now it has been started being fitted in the coaches. We know that only the 4 coaches need watering, where water level has gone down, and we do watering in those 4 coaches out of turn. So that saves water, but it is going to take a lot of time to make best use of that system. It's still in learning and trial phase. So that way steps have been taken, and I think we will be saving water.
No, that's fantastic, sir. 90%. I have just 2 more questions, and after that I give it to the audience and we can wind up. I'm sure everybody wants lunch. I just have 2 more questions to go. So the other thing that comes to mind is the stampedes. You know, there was an unfortunate incident in which people did lose lives, etc. So Dr. Vipul Mishra, you know, the question to you is that, can artificial intelligence help in such things? Can you prevent stampedes? Can it play a role? Because that is something that does happen during festivals in our country.
Yeah. So, what happened, like, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible but not visible. Can you put him up, please, on the screen? Now you're not visible. Yeah, you're visible now.
Hopefully
Go
now
ahead.
I'm visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
पीछे गति शक्ति विश्वविद्यालय अभी आ गया है.
Yeah. So if we talk about stampede, it's not like a very sudden event that happens very quickly. It has some consequences. It has some background as well. Now we all know all the stations are equipped with the CCTV cameras. Now can we utilize those cameras to doing the analytics on that? If we have a system, and that's we already have those kind of systems available. If we are able to recall the Mahakumbh, we are able to count how many persons are there with the drone, right? So that is something like a people counting. If we can utilize those cameras to count number of persons in the particular platform, now these stats will give lots of help to the planning. For example, if there is a mass movement towards one side or other side, that can be easily identified. You can find out a choke point maybe in the bridges, maybe in other places, maybe you can say some out or in blocks. So these all choke points can be identified very quickly and in the real time as well. Now, because these cameras are continuously working 24/7, only thing, some persons are sitting over there and continuously maybe watching 20 screens together. And we all know humans have a limited capability to watch 20 screens is very difficult. Can we utilize those AI algorithms, which is already well proved, to analyze all the cameras in the same time and give the stats in the dashboard? We have all platform in the dashboard and give the thermal, you can say, thermal images over there, like density of the passenger in a particular platform. Now, once we have this information, can we utilize our PRS, the passenger reservation system, that we have advanced information how many passengers are coming out from that, how many passengers are going in from that. So whatever train have higher density of movement, we can put in the platform where we have lower density of passenger right now. Why we cannot plan in advance as well? Because we already have that in our data. If we have that information in the data, we can easily solve this problem of stampede or many other instances as well. We can find out the anomaly as well. Someone is like we already talked about the Swachh Bharat, cleaning of the stations. Eventually we have improved a lot improvement you find out in the station, but still you will find out lots of waste material here and there. Can we utilize those analytics, give the right information to the you can say the right person that there is some waste, or someone is, we are saying 100 rupees fine for if you are throwing something, but to whom you will apply the fine? It's very difficult to identify. So now you can use this algorithm to identify the right person who is throwing it. You cannot find out with just watching those cameras or maybe 100 screens or 200 screens. It's very difficult for the person. But it is possible with the algorithms, and current you can say we have lots of impact on the algorithm. We have lots of object detection algorithm. We have lots of movement identification algorithm that can give those insights from the platform, and that will reduce lots of problems of the stations, and that will we have a very good crowd management as well. Sir.
Got it. Thank you for that answer. My very last question, I am a bit curious about to know Mr. Parmanand Sharma's views on hydrogen trains. I mean, what's your broad view about that?
Hydrogen is the fad now. Lot of the people are talking about hydrogen energy as being the panacea for all pollution control. But I have much more of reservation, as while talking about steel and aluminium, Mr. Gangesh said, one shoe doesn't fit all. Similarly, hydrogen doesn't fit all. I will like to give one example. How is hydrogen we get from water? It's not naturally available in air that you will extract like oxygen, liquid oxygen, by constant condensing it and get the oxygen. Hydrogen you will not get, because at lower atmospheric level hydrogen is not available. It's a minuscule percentage. So how do you get hydrogen? You get it by electrolyzing the water. Now, electrolyzing the water and generating hydrogen requires energy. From where do you get that energy? If you are going to burn coal or diesel to generate that electricity and then electrolyze the water to get hydrogen and then use hydrogen to generate power, what you are going to gain? Zero. Not zero, negative. Because the system inefficiencies will inbuilt in, and actually whatever electricity you use for electrolyzing, you will not even get that much of electricity back. So the hydrogen, I am not condemning it outright, but we have to see where we can use it. Hydrogen is suitable for those places where we have a lot of renewable energy. Like, say, Sahara Desert, vast expanse lying near equator, very high insulation. If there we put up large number of solar farms and use that energy to electrolyze the water, make fuel cell or hydrogen in compressed form, and then transport to nearby area. But then again the economics comes into play. I cannot generate hydrogen in Sahara and bring to Kolkata. So these type of things have to, this entire energy economy and the chain has to be considered. So this will remain limited, but yes, technology advancement is there, and there are certain locations, like say in railways case, I can say that we are expanding into Kashmir area, Ladakh area trains. Now they are taking this OHE, overhead equipment of electrical transmission, is a difficult job. Even creating track itself is a very tough job. So for those areas we can have limited hydrogen mobility so that we don't burn fossil fuel in those areas to destroy the atmosphere. Similarly, some other locations can be there. It can be, say, there is a small, some say 1,000 hectare island. Now that 1,000 hectare island cannot give 500 hectare for setting up a thermal power plant. So those type of places where you need energy but you can't have that setup, you use hydrogen and that will be done. But it will not be a massive source of energy in future. Thank you.
Thank you for that candid view, sir. And I think I've run out of my questions, and I hope I have done justice to the audience's expectations of posing tough questions to the panelists. I really thank all the panelists for giving very comprehensive, candid, and honest answers to all my questions. With that, I would say we should, if there is any one question, maybe.
Thank you. First of all, gratitude and appreciation to ICC for hosting this wonderful Third Rail India Forum, and sir, from which we actually got to know so many things from expert human beings like you. First of all, sir, I would like to thank Indian Railways as well as Metro for making the life of, for the people of City of Joy so incredible in terms of saving money, in terms of, commuting from one part of the city to the other in the minimum time, as well as with minimum economical prices. For this, I would just request everybody present here to give a big round of applause for ICC and Indian Railways. This has made us life easy. Thank you, sir. Sir, a question to Manish Jain, sir. If you can kindly let me know, Salt Lake Sector 5 being one of the IT hubs, there's a huge population from rural India who actually travels in Metro today. And thanks to Metro Rail for connecting Shialda and Howrah with Salt Lake Sector 5. So is there any expansion plan from Dakhineshwar to Salt Lake Sector 5 directly to help these rural guys who come for jobs in the city, in the IT hub here, which can really be a help? Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, if you see the sanctioned projects, we already have Dakshineshwar connected to airport via Novapada, and airport to New Gadia, where the Salt Lake Sector 5 lies. It is on that line. So once the New Gadia to airport is connected, then Dakshineshwar to Sector 5 people can come either via New Gadia or they can come via the airport. So both the routes would be available.
expect that in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, the project, if you see the project progress, it is in a very advanced stage. There are few areas where you must be reading in the papers. There are some issues with the police clearances about working, like Sector 5 also. It should have been up and working by now. But there were some challenges. Those challenges have been addressed. So hopefully Sector 5 we should be reaching by maybe second half of the next year. And airport end of 27 or maybe early 28. That is the projection as of now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. I think we can end the session now. Thank you.
Thank you, our panelists, for the remarkable deliberations. Thank you for giving your time to us. Okay, now we would extend our respect through the felicitation of the dignitaries, and I would like to take the opportunity to do the same. Thank you. I'll just sequentially go. We can have a group photo. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just 2 more minutes of your time. Thank you for sharing your expertise and looking forward to the perspectives throughout the day. The deliberation have clearly highlighted 3 key priorities for the future of rail mobility: accelerating sustainability, strengthening multimodal connectivity, and adopting advanced technology to enhance safety and operational efficiency. We have also collectively emphasized the need for increased private participation and strategic investment in modern infrastructure to unlock the new growth pathways. Collaboration is no longer optional. It is driving the force behind meaningful transformation. Together, we are not merely envisioning progress, but we are enabling it. By championing innovation and responsible development, we are truly greening the rails, powering the nation, and steering the future of mobility. We would also like to express our sincere gratitude to the sponsors and partners: Indian Railways, Niti Aayog for supporting the forum, our title sponsor Jupiter Wagons Private Limited, Gold partner Jindal Stainless Limited, Silver partner Classic Electrodes, GEE Limited, JSIC, Pandrol Rahi, Texmeco, Yes Techno, Knowledge partner CILT and Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, and our media partner Rail Analysis, and the lovely delegates seated in this room and their unwavering support and contribution to the success of 3rd edition of Rail India Forum. Thank you so much. We will all now proceed for the networking lunch and the informal discussion as we continue shaping India's rail future together. If you wish to connect with us on a sectoral front, feel free to get in touch with me. And with that note, hope you had a great time. Looking forward to catching up with you in the upcoming events. Thank you all. Thank you.